welcome to the channel. This is Go Freddy and welcome to the 2022 Gran Turismo World Series here on GT7. It is round number 4 of the Nations Cup and I am racing against a bunch of BRZs in a Porsche here at Catalunya. It has turned into a BRZ versus Porsche battle. Can I outlast those pesky BRZs? Stick around, check it out. No points for me so far in Nations. I haven't done any Nations events, been focusing on other things, but here you see on 9-2 Friday, that's the one we're running. I'm just looking to have some fun here in the Group 3s at Catalunya because this has no chicane, and I cannot stand the chicane. There's my time of 1:38.529 in the Porsche. All those above me were in the BRZs. Blaze was pretty fast around here this week. I don't know what he's eating for breakfast, but I need to find that out and have a little bit myself. So let's get on to the race and see what happens. All right, a lobby opens up for us. Fingers crossed that we can actually stay in this one. We were locked into the first slot for an hour. Race never started. Second slot, I got disconnected. So finally here on the third slot, maybe we can make something happen. So get out to qualifier. I need to put a good one in. The Porsche a little bit slower than the BRZs in qualifying, so really have my work cut out for me. Now just before this lap started, I just set my best time of 1:38.5 in the Porsche, so I thought for sure I could get down into the 38s and maybe start up there around that top 7, top 5 area, make something happen on the hards in the Porsche. Here missing the apex by about a foot on the turn 3 entry there, and that's going to cost me a little bit of time. Get on the brakes hard, trying to brake in a straight line as much as possible. A little further outside than I wanted to be, but that's okay. I can get on the gas early and really power out of this corner down into this left-hander here. Wanted to roll through this corner with carry a good bit of speed, back onto the throttle early, let the Porsche push out wide. Those big fat rear tires on that Porsche with that engine hanging out over really likes to get on the gas early. Getting into second gear here through the left-hander, again back on the throttle as early as I can, up into third. Now I left it in third here, just let off the gas, clipped the apex, back on the gas, coming out, trying to carry as much speed as possible. This BRZ is really fast through those corners, but the Porsche's main, I guess you could say, advantage is acceleration here in first and second gear. It just really ran down the BRZs nice in those 2 gears, and but BRZ is really fast at the corner and able to carry just so much speed. So heading down through this last section of track, this is where the BRZs really pulled on me, and trying to carry it mid 100s through this corner. Came up about 7 miles an hour short there, so I wasn't happy with this last corner, which does not set up the last lap good. Unfortunately, that was my best time of 1:39.272. Would only be good for P13. Very frustrated as I had, it's another 7/10 I could have pulled out of there and really started towards the front of the pack, which would have helped my race out immensely. However, we are back here in P13, and I'm not going to sneak up on anyone in this Porsche in slot 3. Everyone knows the strategies by now. So looking at the tires, P1 in the BRZ on the mediums, as well as P2 on the mediums, P3 Vanity on the hards, P4 a Lambo on the hards, so Shred going with that. Then we got a Porsche on the softs there, and then followed that Greasy there on the hards in the BRZ, another BRZ MCA also on the hards. Then we got Andrew Racing, he's on the mediums. We got B Paps on the hards. We've got Distinct Blaze on the mediums. Hemi decides to go on the softs on the BRZs. PX7 Grove Street on the mediums. Myself on the hards in the Porsche. Then we got the last 2 on mediums and hards to round it out. Now, as I said, Porsche really good on acceleration. So as the race starts, I get a really nice run on PX7 Grove Street, which if you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, do so. Link right here above. Grove is a streamer. I'm more of a content creator, but enjoy Grove streams. He is a fun guy to hang out with. So anyway, on here, trying to catch up to Hemi. Now, I have no idea that Hemi's on softs at the start of the race. He is just pulling away from me. I'm thinking he's on mediums, and I'm hoping that he's just killing his tires, as well as all the folks in front of him. Again, no idea what anyone in front of me is on. I'm assuming most of them are on mediums, as that was the OP strategy. If you can make them last, I could make them last, but I was only a couple seconds slower overall time in the Porsche. but it gave me room for error. I had no room for error in the BRZ on the mediums, and I was horrifically slow on the hards in the BRZ. So I decided to strap on the old blue jeans that I was comfortable with, and that was the Porsche 911. It got me to A+ back in GT Sport, so I decided to go with it instead of the BRZ. So fast forward here on to lap 2. I've caught up to none other than the Mr. MCA, another YouTuber. Link here above if you want lap guides and whatnot. Mr. MCA is your man, and I get a Gretty pass as ripped to Mr. Bond, as he apparently had a struggle there and went off track. So move up to P11. So get the quick pass on Grove and then get a Gretty pass. So that's 2 positions, and I've got a nice gaggle of folks right here in front of me, and I'm hoping that they are racing each other hard as Mr. MCA gets loose coming out of the corner there. Those hard tires a little difficult on the BRZ. Had to keep that turbo spooled up. It likes the high RPMs, and it liked to break free those weird tires when you got on the gas early. Porsche a little more forgiving in that manner. Sure Shred having a problem there in the Lambo. He was on the hards. If you remember, again, I did not know that to start the race, and he qualified way up in front. So a little surprised to get by him there. Mr. MCA gives me a flash of the lights, thanking me, I guess, for not murdering him through the corner. But I'm going to wave goodbye to Mr. MCA as the Porsche taking him down the straight. But as we enter the corner, the BRZ on the outside through the chicane, we give each other room through the chicane, showing each other all that respect here in the top splits. And boy, I tell you what, that BRZ has some grip. Look at him drive around me in the Porsche on the outside through the long right-hander. But I jump back into a slipstream and hope that I can make something happen here. As I just feel like I have a little more pace than MCA, but I can't seem to get by him. So I'm going to have to be patient, try and figure something out. I need to get by him quick because the group in front is really pulling away from us. As you can see, they're scampering off into the distance, and I have got to hang with them and be there for when the tires fall off, those medium tires on the BRZ. So hoping I can get by Mr. MCA here on the long straight, but the Porsche just can't quite take this corner as fast, so I can't carry as much speed out of this corner, be able to take advantage of my acceleration coming out of the corner. Now here's another shot. I just give it a peek down the inside, trying to make Mr. MCA a little bit nervous, thinking maybe I'm going to send it down there. But as I have the acceleration coming out of that corner, I've got nowhere to go, as it's just not a good place really on the track to pass, and I don't have excessive amounts of grip more than MCA here, so it's not like I can put it on the inside and just make it stick. I would force him off track. Don't want to do that. Don't want to ruin anyone's race by making a bold move like that. Now you can see how much more speed MCA is carrying through that last corner, as the Porsche is going to have to work hard to catch back up to him. You can see the time's dropping now. You know, it's going from 0.6 all the way down into the 0.4, so I'm able to catch back up to him on the straight. But unfortunately, I can't get that good corner exit speed to be able to make that pass on the straight. So just struggling to try and figure out how I can get up to and by Mr. MCA. So on to lap number 6, and you can see MCA's doing the snaky snake. And that always tells Gretty, when you're doing the snaky snake on the straight, then I am in your head. That means that you are afraid that I'm going to be able to pull up on you and pass you. That's the only reason why you're doing the old snaky snake. So I know that I've got something going on here. You can see MCA coming in the corner a little too hot on the front end. Now I'm able to catch up to him with the Porsche coming out of that corner. I just need to stay here on the back bumper, maybe see if I can't take advantage of a mistake by MCA. Takes that corner a little bit odd there, and that opens the opportunity. Now I know I can out-accelerate the BRZ coming out of this left-hander, so I get on the gas nice and early and prepare for the passes. I know he's not going to be quite as quick coming out that corner. Get down to the inside, gonna try and get on the brakes late and not let that darn BRZ drive around the outside of me again, and manage to make the pass on Mr. MCA. Now I've got Grove Street and MCA behind me. It's the battle of the YouTubers here, heading towards the left-hand hairpin. So I give Grove a little bit of slip to try and get them to battle into the hairpin. And if we look up there, it works out as Grove goes a little bit wide and MCA's back through. Now I did not know MCA was on the hard tires, but that works out. That puts MCA in front of Grove, and Grove was on the medium tires. So now Grove's going to have to pass MCA to catch back up to me. Now we see our first pit stopper there as TG20 hops into the pits. Remember, he was in the Porsche. Now he's going to jump and change out those tires for soft tires. Now he started around P5 or so. So it'll be interesting to see how he finishes the race. Now, if you look here, you can see I have 8/10 on the BRZ, and we all know it is quicker through the corner, so it's going to be able to take the chicane faster. So I'm hoping they're battling behind me. Now, if you look in the rearview mirror, you can see they're side by side heading into the chicane, MCA and Grove Street Racing, and boy, that really helps me out. As I come out, I pick up another 8/10 coming out of the chicane because they're battling behind me. That means they're no longer in my slipstream, so don't have to worry about them being able to use me to pull them up forward. On to lap number 9. I've got that Porsche. Remember that Porsche that stopped for the soft tires? As I'm trying to chase down Greasy, I get within 1.2 seconds, but now I've got this Porsche on my tail, and I know he's on the soft, so don't want to battle him at all. I don't want to lose any time, but unfortunately, there's just not much choice. It's really hard to let them by in any particular spot without losing at least a couple tenths, and I'm like, this is not I can afford to lose some tenths as I'm finally catching up to P5 and P6 here. So I'm going to brake a little bit early and let him go down into the chicane. I don't want to be side by side through the chicane with that Porsche, as I know he's got superior traction. And boy, you can really see it as we come down through this set of corners. The dirty air causing me to push out wide there on my hards. But boy, he just absolutely flies through there on those racing soft tires with an extra 3 laps remaining to go. So they're nice and fresh still. So there you go. There's your difference in speed between the 2 tires. Now he's got work ahead of him. He's got quite a few people to pass, and if he can pull it off cleanly, he might actually end up pretty good. On to lap number 11. I've reeled in the group in front of me, only now a second behind Vanity, who was passed by Greasy Sam Squatch not long ago. Now we're pulling up on Andrew Racing, who is struggling through the corners. Yet again, another YouTuber. So I'll put a link to his channel right there. There's Andrew Racing's channel. We go on by Andrew like he is absolutely sitting still. So what happened to him? Well, let's find out. Look at here. His left front tire is absolutely shot, and he cannot take a right-hander to save his life. There is nothing he can do. Anytime he turns right, that car just wants to go straight. Look at it as he goes through. Now, if he goes through a left-hander, Andrew needs a NASCAR track right now to finish this race. He needs all left-handers. But anytime he turns right, like right here, look at it, just he gets no grip. That left front tire is just, it is not going to give him any grip at all. And Vanity flies on by. Now we shoot down the inside of Andrew here as he just, again, cannot stick to the tarmac. Just slides out wide. So going down onto the final lap, I am now within 7/10 of Vanity. I'm licking my chops. I'm like, please be those medium tires that are wearing out. Maybe I can get another tire failure in front of me or two, get a couple gritty passes here at the end of the race. Fingers crossed as we head into this right-hander. Now, you remember, right, the right-handers are the ones they struggle on, but it looks like he's handling that right-hander pretty well. But then just at the end, he starts to go wide. He gets almost off in the ground. I'm like, oh, that tire's dying. So, unfortunately, I get just too hopeful and brake way too late and lose the one spot on this track that the Porsche was good at. End up pushing in deep and losing a lot of time there. Now we have 2 right-handers left. If there's dead tires, we'll find out here. There is not, unfortunately, unable to pick up any more spots here on the last lap, but do move up 6 spots into P7. Was pretty pleased with that in the Porsche. The other Porsche finished in second, so good job on the one stopper. I pick up 247 points and call it a night. Hope you enjoyed the race. Hope you enjoyed all the action. If you did, hit the like and or subscribe. Come out, check out some more. For myself, Go Gretty, y'all have a great evening. DJ Clean, take us out of here.